Hey guys, welcome back to Token Tech. This week is CES, and I just wanted to talk about some of the things that I found interesting. So in this video, we're going to focus on Lian Li. Lian Li has done some of the coolest things in cases that we've seen in a long time. This case right behind me, the O11 Dynamic, has sold like crazy because of the extreme value and versatility the case gives you. Great water cooling, great air cooling, great cable management, a modular design, easy to use, almost completely toolless, and it looks fantastic at the same time, and available in different colors with RGB, with distro plates, and all different kinds of things, all for a affordable price. I believe it launched at $130 or something around there, but it was regularly discounted to around $100. So definitely a viable option. And if you've been paying attention, they've recently launched their Land Cool 2, which came in at I think around $90, and just looks phenomenal with a lot of space and all the good things that you would expect from a case that is more expensive than $90. Well, at CES, they showed off a lot of their new implementations or designs for their cases. And one of the things that I saw that really struck out to me, or was striking to me, was the PC011 Dynamic Mini. They basically made a smaller version of this case, but with a feature that I haven't really seen before. This case is designed or pushed as a mini-itx case, but it's kind of large for a mini-itx case. I'll try to get pictures so I can put them up while I'm talking so you guys can see what I'm talking about. However, it's not just an ITX case, it can also be a MATX or even a full ATX case. It ships with all the pieces needed to expand it to be able to fit a bigger motherboard without making the case any larger. You're just switching around some of the plates and expanding the motherboard tray so that you can actually fit a bigger motherboard. I think that's fantastic because one of the issues that I've had with ITX is that if I buy an ITX case, well, now I'm stuck with ITX motherboards, and I have to use ITX motherboards, which sometimes can be hard to find. Can be hard to find one that has the features you need, and of course, the price of those motherboards can be extremely high. ATX motherboards can give you a lot of the features you need, but sometimes are more than what most people will ever use. Okay, they have all these features, all this expansion, and most people don't use it. So getting a big case for your ATX motherboard sometimes can be a bit wasteful. So with this case, you can really just bounce around whatever you want. If you have a full ATX motherboard, you can fit it in there. If you have an MATX, if you have ITX, you can fit it in there. If you want to go from your MATX to full ATX to ITX as you go through different builds, you can do that, and all for a low price of around I think $90 for this case as well. Not only does it look good, but you also get good cooling potentials because I'm pretty sure it's just like this case, just a little bit smaller, so you can fit like a 240 millimeter liquid cooler in there without any issue whatsoever and still look fantastic. I think this is a great design for a lot of people, especially people like me who like to constantly build and change things in their PC, and definitely people like me who've been looking at ITX builds but haven't made the plunge yet. This gives us that flexibility that if we don't want to stick with it or if we don't want to do it right away, you can get this case, do a MATX build, have it look fantastic, and then switch to ITX later down the road when you get the parts you need. And my final thing is, I think this is a great option for people who might just be getting into PC building. I know my first computer, I had an MATX motherboard, but in a full-size tower. Oh, I shouldn't say full-size, a mid-size tower. But that MATX board just looked so dumb and little in this big case. It had all this extra space. All the cables were stretched to like fit, to make it to their headers and everything. And it just looked kind of dumb. Where in a case like this, not only is it more affordable, but being so small, the MATX is going to look perfect in that case. And that to me is the sweet spot because it's going to give you everything you need without being too big, but at the same time giving you just enough expansion that if you needed more expansion, you have it there. Where ITX is a little bit limiting, ATX might be a bit much for most people. MATX is usually the cheapest option and the most well-rounded options as well. So I think that case is going to be fantastic, and I'm even considering it, even though you can see this kind of Frankenstein monster of a build I have here that doesn't really make sense right now. Maybe in the future, when I decide to redo this build, I'll build it in there and have it all look nice. Anyways, that's going to be it for me, guys. I think Lian Li is doing a great job at CES this year. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What do you think of their cases? I think all of them are great, but the O11 Dynamic Mini in particular was what stood out to me. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one.